Hi, I'm Whitney Bright from Goodwill. I am a BSS Plus case manager, and I'm going to take you guys through enrolling a homeless prevention client. So if you can see here on the left-hand side, you see BSS Plus HP Goodwill, and that is our default because we primarily do homeless prevention. Everybody's is a little bit different. So we are enrolling a homeless prevention client, but if we were not and doing a rapid rehousing, we would come over here to enter data as, click on it. You can just hit OK on that guy. And you see down here BSS Plus rapid rehousing. I don't know why that popped up. So then you would click the plus sign, and then you would be entering all the information under the rapid rehousing enter data as. So first off, we're going to start by checking to see if this client is in HMIS. So you'll click on client point, and you'll always want to have your paperwork right in front of you because you'll refer to it the whole time. And by paperwork, I mean the enrollment paperwork you've done with the client. So I entered her name, and I'm going to come and click on full name reported. You will most likely always click on that. Social security number. And that will also be full reported. And she is not a veteran, and we're going to click on exact match, and be sure you're clicking that so it can check to see if the client is in HMIS already. So she is not, so we're going to go ahead and add her. And she does have a child, so we're going to add client and add new household. And this window has popped up. You see Shauna, she's been entered into HMIS, so we are now going to enter the daughter. So she is a single female parent. And you're going to take the same steps as you just did. The daughter's last name is also the same as the mother's, so you don't have to change that. That just auto-populated in. Full reported. She is also not a veteran. And exact match. Search. She did not come up either, so we are going to add her. And then it wants you to make sure that this client isn't already in there. She's not, so we are going to go ahead and add her. And she came under here with Shauna, so we are going to click continue. And you see this kind of popped up to begin to check everything. So you can see up here the household type is the female single parent. That's correct. And Lily is not the head of household. Shauna is. And that just auto-populates as the relationship. Shauna is self because she is the head of household, and this is the daughter. And because they're coming into the program together, and we're enrolling them today, so it is the date here of joint household is correct. All right, so you can, I'm going to save and exit. Okay, so now we have Shauna and Lily entered in the HMIS, and now we need to enroll them into BSS Plus. So entry, exit. But you know what? We should probably go ahead and upload the ROI before we really go ahead and enroll them. So right next to the entry exit tab is the ROI tab. So you're going to click on that. And the importance of uploading the ROI, because they have filled out and consented to being entered in the HMIS, so you want to be sure to have that documentation in here. So you're going to click Add Release of Information. And I always got in the habit of clicking up next to whatever the household type is, just so that captures everyone. And then here the provider is BSS Plus Homeless Prevention, so we want to double check that is indeed what we need to be entering our data under. So I have the ROI in front of me. They granted yes. And the end date is always going to be 7 years. So you can kind of auto-populate the date and then change that. It would be 25. You're going to save release of information. And then you want to go ahead and upload it. So you'll come over here to attachments, add new file. Like I said, just getting in the habit of clicking that to capture everyone. We're going to choose the file. I can click it. Okay, and it already went ahead and captured that, so we're going to upload it. And there it is. So it's just that simple. Okay, so we've got the ROI in there, so we're good to go ahead and enroll them. So come back to the Entry Exit tab, add Entry Exit, and click this to capture everyone. Again, we're under homeless prevention, and type, it's always going to be HUD every single time. I'm going to save and continue. Okay, so then you'll want to have Shauna's information in front of you and just start entering the information. And same with the social and the name. It will be full like date of birth reported. And she is Black or African American. She did not list a secondary race. Her ethnicity is non-Hispanic. Her gender, she identified as female. Disabling condition, she does. And we will touch on that a bit more in the upcoming sections. Shauna is the head of household, so it will be self. She is located in Austin, Travis County. Prior to residency, rental by client, no ongoing housing subsidy. There's a lot to choose from, so you got to make sure you click the right one. 1 year or longer for previous stay. So this auto-populated no for did you stay there at least. Did you stay less than 7 nights? Obviously, 7 years or longer. 7 years, goodness. 1 year or longer, she has not. So we will save that. Okay, and this all turned green, so we're good to go. We didn't miss anything. And then we'll come up here to Lily, because it'll stay on the same page and section, so we can just knock her information out too. Full reported. She is Black or African American. She did not list a secondary race either. She is non-Hispanic. Identified as female. And she also has a disabling condition. And the relationship to head of household is the head of household's child. She is in Austin and Travis County. Rental by client, no ongoing housing subsidy. And 1 year or longer. So that also auto-populated that no. So we will save that. That also all went into the green, and then you can see over here on the left-hand side it did a check mark in green, so you know for sure that you're all done. So for me, I like to go ahead and click back to the head of household so that when I go to the next tab, she's already up. It sometimes gets wonky on switching over to the other client if you haven't entered information. So we're going to go to additional information, BSS Plus, all clients. And you can see this, since we haven't completed anything, this hasn't been turned green. So we are enrolling them in case management. She is single. She is not on a shelter waiting list and not currently living in a shelter. She provided her address. And she's in Austin. If you don't enter the zip code, I know it doesn't have the little asterisk, but it will really want that. Same with the council district. I know that's not bolded, but that's really important for us to have. I usually always keep that council district page pinned on my my page so I can easily get to it. As you can see, it's up here on this tab. And I want to find my council district. And once you click on that, you can enter in the client's address and it'll automatically tell you which district they're under. So I already have that written down, and that is District 7. And then you can kind of scroll down. A lot of this you have in the paperwork already, but it's not necessarily necessary to put it all in here. So we noted that the client does have a disabling condition, and you always have to go through here and verify it. So HUD Verification, we'll click on that, and then she discussed with you what that is. And it's mental health. So go ahead and click no, so that auto-populates for everything, and then you just come over here and click yes for what is going on. And doesn't quite. So we'll just wing this part. Is it expected? We'll say yes. Is it going to be long-term? Yes. And there's not an end date because it's ongoing. So we will save that. And we'll save and exit. So you will see down here the HUD verification turn to green. So we're good to go on that. Is client chronically homeless? Okay. She is not. Is she a domestic violence survivor victim? She is not. And then if yes, but you still need to come here and click that, not a victim of domestic violence, even though you have selected no. And then income of any source. She does, and she gets a monthly gross income of $1,000. You'll enter that in, and then you, on your enrollment and eligibility paperwork, already figured out the FPL, and that is $51.99. So same thing here, we have to do a verification. So we'll click on that. It is just monthly income, so it's earned income. So we'll go ahead and click no for everything and then say yes for earned income. And we'll enter in that $1,000 again. There's no end date because she's still working. Save and exit. And you can see up here, I turn that green. Non-cash benefits. Yes. So she receives SNAP, so we want to verify that. No for everything, but yes for SNAP. and that's food stamps. So we'll save and exit. That verification happened again. Is she covered by health insurance? Yes, she is. Let's verify that. And she gets Medicaid. So no for everything, yes for Medicaid. Save and exit. And is she enrolled in MAP? She is not. And permanently housed? Yes, she is. And her move-in date. And you can refer to the lease that they bring in for the move-in date. And you'll be able to just plug that in. And you'll have to write that in some of the enrollment paperwork. So you'll save that. And everything's coming up green. So we will move on to Lily's information. And you can see up here, this is yellow because we're not quite done yet. So she has pretty much the same information as Mom. She is doing case management because she's enrolled in the household. She is single, not on a shelter waiting list, not currently living in a shelter. And we'll go ahead and type in that address as well. She's in Austin. And since we already have that city council district, we remember that is 7. And same with Mom, we noted that she does have a disabling condition, so we will come over here to verify it. And hers is a little different from Mom. Hers is a chronic health condition. So again, we're going to click that no, and then come over to chronic health condition. This will bring something up as well. Well, it will say yes, expected to be long continued, and yes, it will be long term. And we will go ahead and save that. And we'll save and exit. And again, that verified it. So she is not chronically homeless. She is also not a domestic violence survivor or victim. And again, she is not. So we can skip that other question. Income of any source. That will be no. And then the FPL, same as Mom's, so it's 51 and 99. And then even if it's no, you still have to come in here and verify. So we will go ahead and click no and save and exit. So for non-cash benefits, she does not. And we will click no, save and exit. Okay. And health insurance, she does not. So again, we will click no and save and exit. So everything is verified. And she also does not have MAP. Is she permanently housed? Yes. Same move-in date as Mom. And we'll save that. So total income, would you like to answer this question now? No, because she doesn't currently have any. Okay, so we'll scroll up here. This now is green, so we're good to go. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click back on Mom. Again, this will pop up a few different times, so you just go ahead and click no. So we're going to click on the new BSS Plus eligibility housing stability. And you see here it says head of household only. So you want to be sure to always be on the head of household. In this case, it's Shauna. So this will be from the eligibility paperwork that you do at the beginning of enrollment. She scored a 12 for employment and income, an 8 for financial status, and for housing and legal, 14. Her total score is 34. So she falls in between the 25 and 35 recommended. Actual assistance offered is up to 12 months, so you'll click this one. And since she fell into that range, the actual assistance did not differ. If it did, you would write in a little explanation as to why you are enrolling them, and your supervisor would, or the program manager would need to sign off on that on the eligibility paperwork. Okay, so then you'll come down here, and were you able to reach the client? So ideally, you'll always say yes, client completed, because you are doing the paperwork with them at the time. Do you have a signed lease or mortgage? Written housing agreement? Yes. On here. Okay. Can you pay your rent and utilities and have enough money left over for basic needs? She has stated no. Can you maintain your housing for the next 6 months? She also stated no. So you will want to come down here and add a housing crisis. So there's not a, I mean, they're pretty simplistic terms as far as what's going on. In terms of Goodwill's program, it's usually always loss of income. So in her case, it is as well. So we will save that. The start date stays the same as enrollment. Okay, and then it pops up there. And is your housing physically safe and healthy? She said yes, it is. Is she safe with her current household members? Yes. And when asking the client, does she find her housing to be stable? She stated no. And then considering everything you guys talked about, how the enrollment paperwork and everything went and eligibility, you decided also no. You came to that conclusion. So overall, her housing is not stable. So you will click Save. So we'll scroll back up, make sure everything's saved. This is going to stay yellow because it is because you didn't do anything for Lily, but you're not going to. It'll always just be the head of household. So we can go ahead and click Save and Exit. And we can see here that she is now enrolled in BSS Plus Homeless Prevention through Goodwill in her start date. So we will then come up here to adding a case manager. So this is assigning most likely yourself if you are going to be taking on the client. So add case manager. Again, that habit of getting everybody. This will auto-populate me. So this is all my information. This is also the start date. Since this is ongoing case management, there is no exit date. So we'll add me. And then you can see here I am the case manager. The exit date won't happen until you're exiting the client. There's a few different steps you'll take that we'll go over later. Then we will go to a service for case management. So we'll click Service Transactions, add a service. We're going to select everybody. And this is not going to have an exit date either. And the reason being is because this is ongoing case management. The financial aspect of it will have end dates, but the case management will not, because even when the client runs out of funds, you'll still, if they choose to or you choose to, continue working with you case management-wise. So for service type, you'll do case care management, and that's it. So then you'll hit save and continue. And then, like I said, I was just getting that habit of selecting everyone. And then you'll scroll down, because you can skip all that. That's mostly for check requests and things like that. So need status. It is in progress because we are doing continuous case management at this point. So you will save it. Everything went. We're all saved. So save and exit. And now we have that case management service in there. You can see that, again, no end date until later. So we're going to exit out of this tab. All right, and this will wrap up kind of our enrollment section.